Good morning, everybody. Again, I'm Joan Perry. I am the Marketing and Development Coordinator at the Brevard Schools Foundation. The Brevard Schools Foundation fills educational and opportunity gaps for all 85 of our public schools, 75,000 students, and over 5,000 teachers by supporting innovation, engaging communities, and changing lives. And funds for these programs come from private contributions, corporate support, public matching funds, endowments, special events, private donors, and also through things like our marketing partnerships. One of the organizations we have a marketing partnership with is Florida Prepaid College Savings Plan. So that's kind of how you get the foundation here today speaking to you about Florida Prepaid College Plans. So as Caitlin said, we had a slightly interesting conversation yesterday about, who's going to be interested in this? So one of the things we'd like to talk to you about today is why it's important to think about saving for college. If I told you there's one thing that you as a parent could do that would 2.5 times increase the chance that your child goes to college, would you be interested? Not your kid, not their teachers, not the school, you. Anybody interested in that? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. As Caitlin mentioned, this program is focused on kind of pre-K to 6th grade parents. But when she asked about it yesterday, it kind of had me send an email to Florida Prepaid to get a little bit more information. What if high school parents are interested in this? So I'm going to talk to you about a couple different plans. I'll get back to that in a moment. But what we're hoping you can do is share this information with your friends, your family, your school community, because there's some amazing opportunities for families that you may not be aware of. I know I wasn't aware of it. As Caitlin said, she wasn't aware of it. Somebody came in and said, my husband's a financial planner. We're already doing that. Great. Anybody here not married to a financial planner and maybe need a little bit of help? So who is Florida Prepaid? It is the largest and longest running prepaid college savings plan in the nation. And I brought my tea up because I got a lot of P's I'm going to be speaking today. So when I start to stutter over them, I might pause and take a drink. This is a national model. And really, a lot of states at this point are actually doing away with plans like this. So this is a wonderful opportunity. The program has a 30-year track record of helping families save for college affordably. Since 1988, they have helped families by selling more than 1.2 million college prepaid plans. And over 560,000 students have gone to college with a prepaid plan. If you're a Florida resident, Florida Prepaid is something that's exclusive to you and your families, your friends, maybe somebody else. I know someone came in and said, all my kids are already out of college. But you probably know somebody whose kids are not out of college yet. It's important to save for college early because this helps your child avoid student debt loans. And for those of you that maybe have students in college, I know we went through this, Parent Plus loans. So you're not only saving your child, you're potentially saving yourself from future debt. It sends a powerful message to the child that you think it's important for them to attend college or some post-secondary education program. And research shows, even if you don't save everything, if you save a small portion of money for college, that child is 2.5 times more likely to go to college and graduate. Even a small amount takes that chance up to 2.5 times. So today with inflation, prepaid plans offer you an inflation-proof way to save for college. You're probably thinking, for those of you with younger children that aren't at this point yet, oh my God, how much is this going to cost? Tuition. Did you hear what tuition was at XYZ college, this campus? But it's not just tuition you need to be thinking about. If you're here in Melbourne and your child is looking at FSU, they're not doing it from home, are they? So you're looking at housing costs, room and board. where they live, sleep, what they eat. I don't know if anybody else. 3 boys in our house. We went through a lot of groceries, so feeding them is an important thing. Books, supplies, computers, equipment. There's some wonderful in-state tuition programs here in Florida. So sometimes all these extra costs might wind up being as much or more than the tuition that you're going to be paying. So there's lots of things to think about when you want to start saving for college. The earlier you start saving and planning, the more affordable and less stressful this process can be. And the beauty of a Florida prepaid plan is that you have the ability to save early and in affordable increments. Florida Prepaid offers 2 types of savings plans. Well, 2 plans. One is the 529 prepaid plan. The other is the 529 savings plan. There's benefits to both. Each does slightly different things in a slightly different way. The 529 prepaid plan, the little red button up there, it's guaranteed. It's secure. It allows you to lock in tuition prices in the future, 10, 15 years down the road, at today's prices. No matter how much tuition goes up, with a prepaid plan, you have locked in that payment at today's prices. It's inflation-proof, and I don't know if you've been shopping for eggs in the last 6 or 8 months, anything that you can lock in the price at is kind of a good thing today. Prepaid plans cover tuition and fees only. They do offer 5 different plan types, and they do offer an option for a dormitory or housing plan. Again, you can lock that in at today's prices. Anybody that's looked at a house 5 years ago and today, again, you know how that change in housing prices can be. The 529 savings plan is another way to save. This is an investment savings plan, kind of like a 401k. I mentioned the financial planner family in the house. This allows you to save what you can, when you can, and grow it over time. It can be used for tuition, but it also can be used for all those other costs that we talked about. I do see a few of you writing. I'm going to give you just a quick heads up. Caitlin has this PowerPoint. I put all my little speaking points in there in the PowerPoint, so when she sends it to you next week, you will have all of this. But I know I like to write. It helps me remember. So, yeah. But I'm a writer, so if writing it down helps it stick in your brain, go right ahead. But don't panic if you miss something, and I'll be here afterwards to answer questions. But again, the savings plan can be used not only for tuition, but all those other expenses that we talked about. One of the options, especially if you're able to start early and looking ahead now, is considering possibly both plans, because then you're covering all of your bases. The prepaid plan is going to lock in your tuition costs. The savings plan is going to help you with other expenses. But sometimes we start thinking, my child, 2 years old. Your child might be 10, your child might be 16, and you're going, I don't know what they're going to do. There's a lot of up in the air decisions to be made. These plans are flexible. Oftentimes, you don't even realize how flexible they are. A lot of times, people have heard about 521 plans and, I have to use it for UF or Eastern Florida or, a Florida state school. These plans can be used in just about any scenario you can imagine, because we don't know where our kids are going to be when they turn 18. And I'm sure there's some of you, as I said, with 16 and possibly 18-year-olds, that you're still not sure what they're going to do and where they're going to go. These plans can be used in-state and out-of-state. They can be used at public and private schools. They, Florida Prepaid, will send your plan money to the post-secondary school of your child's choice. So you do have flexibility. But what if my kid gets a full scholarship, right? We're all hoping that they get a full scholarship. Perhaps you have another sibling in the household. You can transfer that plan to another sibling. Families also have 10 years. I'll get to questions at the end. That's okay. You also have 10 years to use these plans. So if they maybe, and I'm going to be really nice, they decide they want to do a year of service after they graduate, or they want to get a job because they're just not sure what they want to do, there is time from 10 years after they graduate to use the plan. And the plans can be used to cover trade and vocational schools. Because let's be honest, we need people at all different levels. And I think if there's anything we've been hearing people talk about, last month was CTE month, and there was a lot of talk about what the future job needs are. So it isn't just college. And not everybody is going to college, but there are options. These plans are secure. This program is run by the Florida Prepaid College Board, a state entity. It is guaranteed and backed by the state of Florida. One of the things that prepaid college plans do is they give you a stable budget item. Anybody have their set cell phone bill they have to pay, or the insurance bill, or your mortgage, or your electric? This is just kind of one thing you can add right in. And for those of you that have worked on savings or are trying to work on savings, I think we kind of know if you can just put it in there and pay it out and forget about it, it gets taken care of. Once you set up a prepaid plan, the payments never go up. That same payment throughout its entirety. Again, it's inflation proof. So a one-year university plan right now for a newborn can start as low as $45 a month. The plans are also refundable. So let's go back to that. I only have one child, and they get that scholarship that pays for everything. The money is refundable. If you don't use all or only use part of the prepaid plan, you'll get the money back. Again, like I was talking about, it's prepared for plenty of scenarios. It can be used with scholarships. Bright Futures. Anybody hear of Bright Futures? So if a child has Bright Futures and you have a prepaid plan, and when they're 4 or 5, you might not know whether or not they're going to be a Bright Futures child. But this is an option you can set up. They'll get a check each semester for whatever funds weren't needed to pay for tuition. Then in turn can be used towards that housing or books. Books. Let me tell you, if you've not ever looked at the cost of college books, electronics, things like that. When you set up a prepaid or a 529 savings plan, others can contribute to it. So I know I sent a little flyer about this up to the front lobby desk here for them to put something running in the office. And Pat at the front desk went, "Oh, this would be a great shower gift." My brother and sister-in-law, I have 2 young nieces. My stepsons are all in their 30s. We should be having grandchildren and planning for them. We're not. But for my nieces, this is a great thing that I'm able to send money kind of on a birthday, or, they graduated from kindergarten. Okay, I know when they're in kindergarten, it's really fun. They're all cute and but what am I getting a kindergartner? But education is important to me. It's important to my brother and sister-in-law. I can give them a gift and have them put it in their 529 plan. It's also, you could do that with a savings plan, but perhaps grandmom and grandpop or somebody might want to go in on the prepaid plan and help you with that monthly payment as kind of a gift to looking ahead. So again, there's flexibility with that. I know you can save the money. Financial planner family, he's probably already thought of this. But if you just set up a savings account and you start putting money in there, and let's say even you're really aggressive with that, all that interest, guess what happens at 1099 time? All the interest on this, tax-free growth. As long as it's used for educational purposes, all that money that you save, tax-free. So why am I talking to you right now? It's open enrollment period. From February 1st to April 30th is the open enrollment period for the college prepaid plan. When you're thinking about college, that price tag can seem awfully large, and you just don't know how you're going to be able to afford it. Sometimes you're thinking, well, are we going to go on vacation? Am I saving for retirement? Are we saving for college? This gives you an opportunity to make small, incremental, affordable payments towards that long-term goal. Ooh, suddenly I got really loud. And remember, even that statistic I talked about earlier, you don't need to save 100% of the money for college. Saving a little bit is better than saving none. Because every dollar you save is a dollar you're not borrowing. I told someone earlier they'd be hearing that line again. But every dollar you save is a dollar you're not borrowing. Again, even a little bit saved, 2.5 times more likely for a child to enroll and graduate college than a child with no savings at all. So again, as I said, that's something you or parents or families can do. It has nothing to do with your child, their teacher, what classes they take, where you live, what activities they're in. Just that simple fact of saving a little bit of money, 2.5 times the chance for your child to go on and graduate from college. And right now, we're all feeling the financial pressure of inflation. Gas, although at least that's coming down a little bit. Eggs, the ridiculous price of eggs we were paying for earlier. Florida prepaid plans, savings plans, tax-free growth, inflation-proof. The plan you lock in today, the price you pick today is set. Whether your child is going to school in 6 years, 12 years, 15 years, you've locked that price in and you've set an affordable, hopefully within your budget plan, a way to get to that point. And once you lock it in, even if that price of tuition goes up at the colleges, you're locked in. That's the state and Florida prepaid plans problem. Make up that difference, not yours. So while many things aren't inflation-proof today, Florida prepaid plan, see, I told you I was going to start tripping over the P's, is one way that you can do that. So I encourage you to do a little bit of research, find out what might work for you. You can use the pricing calculator. I'm going to switch the slide, even though I'm not supposed to yet, because it does give you myfloridaprepaid.com, a great site to check out, see what your options are. As Caitlin was mentioning yesterday, she goes, I think the high school parents will be interested in this. So when I asked the question, 11th grade is the cutoff to enroll in a prepaid plan. Oftentimes, the older your child is, it was mentioned the savings plan might be more to your benefit than the prepaid plan. But again, going to their website will give you a little bit more information. It has the pricing calculator. There's the phone number for their customer service, as well as our representative that can answer any questions you have. And I just brought these tiny little rack cards. We can get more, but it's in English. And on the back of the English, I have a version with Haitian Creole and a version with Spanish. So what I would ask you to do is evaluate this for yourself, but also the way you can share this with other families at your school, with just other friends and family would be greatly appreciated, because I think we all have a thing for education. That's why we're here. So thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, I'll be off to the side because I know, we got a few questions? Okay. I know there was somebody in the back too. Okay.
I just have a quick statement. I enrolled both of my kids in the prepaid program when one was 2 and the other was a newborn, and both of their programs were paid in full before the end of elementary school. And then I upgraded the plan to include the dorm fees. It was completely affordable. And now I have one going off to college using her prepaid plan in addition to Bright Futures.
I have a side note too. I didn't raise my hand, I'm sorry. So I actually had a Florida prepaid plan from my parents. Oh, that is really hard to say. Good job. I got it. And I got a scholarship for my first 2 years of college, and I actually got to take that money and use it for my books. Like they just took it and gave me cash. Like, yeah, $2,000 per semester. I just got to take it and say, hey, like gas money, textbooks, all the things. And so I didn't have to work, full time to make, money for food and, Chick-fil-A. So, yeah. So just a side note there, I should probably start saving. So thanks, Joan, for calling me out.
If you don't use the Florida prepaid for a public in Florida school, Does the tuition get locked for any of the other schools, or you just get the dollar amount?
I believe you get the dollar amount. And again, I'm not the Florida prepaid rep, but this is what they tell us. And I'm new to Florida, and this program is new to me. But I believe if you go on and look, it does sort of give you a value, so that again, that value amount transfers to whatever school they might go to. So it doesn't. If you've paid for a full year tuition at X level school here in Florida, what that value is what goes to, if they choose, and my nephew just did this, American University in DC, that value goes there. There still may be a difference in that you would need to pay. But again, that would be where the savings plan could come into play. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, is that there's a list, especially of private schools in Florida. So University of Miami, I know, is one of them. FIT, I know, is one of them. Flagler, yeah, they actually differentiate, and it depends on when you sign up, because some of these have changed over time, but a lot of them, it's 80% that they promise you. They'll cover 80% of whatever that is with whatever it is you have locked in.